Hello everyone, myself Ketan Bhavsar, Assistant Professor in LJ Engineering College, Ahmedabad. In today's session, we discuss about what exactly the embedded system is in IoT devices from chapter number 2 in IoT. Now, embedded IoT devices. Now, what is embedded? See, we are very familiar with this word embedded because in terms of electronics and communication, we have main three domains that we can work. One is a communication, second one is an embedded system, and third one is a BMS technology and design. Now, what is embedded? Embedded means we have to deal with the microcontrollers, microprocessors, sensors, and actuators. It's all about the embedded system. Means we can say that it's simply a combination of hardware plus software. It's a combination of hardware part and software part. With help of changing the software programming, we can see the variation of hardware part. It's all about IoT devices or embedded IoT devices. Now, sensors and actuator for IoT application and also the IoT component and its implementation. Now, sensors and actuator, we are very familiar with this word. What is sensor and actuator? So, let's see. What is sensor? The first thing. A better term for a sensor is a transducer. What exactly the concept of transducer? A transducer is what? Is a physical device that converts one form of energy into the another. It is a transducer. Fine. It is a transducer to convert one form of energy into the another form of energy. It is a transducer. So, in this case of sensor, the transducer converts some physical phenomena into an electric impulses that determines the reading. A microphone is one of the best example. A microphone is a sensor that like a vibration energy or convert into the electric form or sound convert into the electric form. So it is one of the best example of transducer. Fine. So there are the number of examples that we can deal as a transducer, or we can assume that it is a transducer or it works as a sensor. So sensor is simply a transducer to convert the one form of energy into the another form of energy. Now the second. The actuator. What is actuator? The first question arises in our mind. What is actuator? It's another type of transducer that you will encounter in many IoT systems is an actuator. In simple terms, an actuator operates in the reverse direction of the sensor. It takes an electric input and turns it to the physical action. Like I give you a simple example like relay interface with a cooling system or with interface with the fan. So if you are connected with the temperature sensor and if the temperature is increased, then the fan will be turned on. So this is the system in terms of the sensor are reading the data and the relay circuit works as an actuator. If the value is reached, or we can say that it's more than the range of temperature, then the fan will be turned on. The relay circuit will be switched. So it is a concept of actuators. So for instantaneous an electric motor, hydraulic system and the pneumatic system, there are all the different types of actuator. These all are the actuator types which use for different applications. Now the controller. What is controller? Now as you know that we all learn a microcontroller, we all know the Arduino board, we all know the different types of digital circuit. Now what is controller? In typical IoT system, the sensor may collect the information and route to the control center. Previously define the logic, it's that a decision. So as a result, the corresponding command, control and actuator respond to the sensor's input. Definitely, because as I give you one simple example of temperature sensors and actuator. Now the temperature sensor continuously sensing the data, and this sensing the data is controlled by the microcontroller. If the temperature is increased more than the range that we decide as a programmer or as an embedded engineer. So if the temperature is increased more than a particular range, then it will send the signal to the actuator. So this is the operation to sensing the data, to process the data and to send the acknowledgement. It's all about the controller task. So controller is generally getting the data from the sensor and passing the value or passing some information to actuators. So it is all about the controller. Here everyone. So thus sensors and actuator in IoT work together from opposite ends, and later we will discuss what the control center reside in the greater IoT system. So now you can see that in this particular diagram, as you can see, These are the sensors, control center and actuator. So here you can see that we are taking one example, like temperature sensor detect. So temperature sensor detect a center position means it sends a signal to a microcontroller or the center part. It can be any microcontroller like Arduino, Raspberry Pi, Intel Galileo. You can talk 8051, PIC microcontroller, Renesas microcontroller. You can take any controller, and then it sends a signal to the shower, or you can say that sprinkler. Fine. So the first portion means reading the data, in the second portion means sensing the data and send the acknowledgement to the center unit command, and the sprinkler will be turned on. So this is the flow from sensor to actuators. Center position is all about the controller part. Now, I hope that you are getting the idea what exactly I am trying to convey from sensor to the actuator. Now, IoT varieties of sensors. There are many different types of sensor in IoT system. Flow sensor, temperature sensor, voltage sensor, humidity sensor, air quality sensor, air pressure sensor, heartbeat sensor, pulse sensor, analog sensor, digital sensor, calibrated sensor, non-calibrated sensor. These are the different types of sensors that we see, and I hope that number of people are also use the sensors. And there are a number of sensors in there, right? So in addition, there are multiple ways to measure the same thing. These are a number of ways to measure the same thing. For instantaneous, a small proper like one you can see is a weather station to measure airflow. However, this method will not work in the moving vehicle, definitely. See, there are the number of sensors. It's not necessary that one sensor can be used in some other application, or the same sensor can be used in number of applications. It's not possible. See, every sensors have a different characteristic, or every have a certain limitation. So as per your requirement, you have to choose your sensor, that which sensor is better for. So different application for the different way to measuring the same thing. So at the same time, a single variation or single variable would trigger the multiple actions. So as a result, the sensor and actuator in the IoT must work together or reliably. This is the concept is all about the IoT and its variety of sensors. Now, what is the sensor and its calibration? See, as we all know, the calibration is one of the huge field. Whenever you work with one calibrated sensor and whenever you work with the one non-calibrated sensor, it is a huge difference. Because calibrated sensor, you are directly getting the data based on the sensor's value and its variation. But if you same thing, you can go with a non-calibrated sensor, then it takes a huge amount of time. Now, to calibrate the sensor, we did have to take a container with a pneumatic carrying the capacity, say it's a plain glass. They did have to fill the container under the varieties of condition to determine what the electric pulses is look like. So these are the one way that you can calibrate the sensor, but there are a number of ways that you can calibrate the sensor and you can get your data, you can get your output that how actually sensor is working. So it's all about the sensor calibration. This is just one example that you have to add all the possibilities, you have to add your all the inputs, and then you can see the capacity, and then you can see the variation of pulses. But this is just one way, or it can be some another method you can apply as per the sensor change. For the intake, the first put of a kg, it might tend to have a more forms which would read differently than the pure form and middle of the kgs that have a will be. So it's only through the repeating this trial and lot of data that would begin considering that we can interpret the data. So basically this is one of the ways that you can get a number of samples, and based on that particular samples you can calibrate or you can identify one specific equation that can give you an exact or accurate result. But it is a trial and error method, and it's also taking a such a, or we can say that a huge time. So important, definitely the importance of calibration is very much as a field of IoT or as a field of electronics. Without getting the accurate calibration, you cannot get the proper value. And if you are not getting the proper value, then you cannot make any decision. You cannot actuate your actuators. You cannot send the signal to your actuators. So with this correlation identified, the protocol can always assure the sensor is reading correctly. This process is calibration. Reputable manufacturer will deliver fully calibrated devices and provide infrastructure on how to recalibrate the varieties of sensors. See, if you purchase some sensor from the market which is non-calibrated, then that particular company also give you one user manual that you should go with the calibration pattern. You should go with which type of calibration you have. which type of data that we have to pass. This all the thing is that when we're talking about importance or we can say that when you're talking about actuators or when you're talking about the calibration of data, because recalibration method is also given, right? That you can also calibrate your sensor as per your requirement. So the accuracy of sensor data is paramount since you will take a mission critical decision based on the later analysis of the data, which will hold the return value if the data is wrong. So the components, as you can see that as there are the number of components that you can see that the sensors, networks, standards, intelligent analysis, intelligent action. These are the components is required when you are dealing with any IoT product. If you're dealing with any IoT component, they play a very important role to how to communicate the data. Now, as you can see that there are a number of boards available if you're dealing with the IoT projects, but here you can see that a few boards which is related with the Node MCU and Raspberry Pi. So in our syllabus, we have to deal with the Node MCU and Raspberry Pi because this two board is very much and most probably using any IoT product or any IoT applications. Now the most important part is edge computing. Now what is the edge computing? So here you can see that in the bottom portion you can see that all the sensors are connected to the different devices. All the sensors data will be going to the edging side, and then after applying AI and machine learning concept in the edge computing technology, it will be added into the cloud or into the data center. So this is the concept of edge devices or edge computing. Now the first question arises in our mind, what is edge computing and why the edge computing is playing an important role? See, the edge computing is almost unnecessary when it comes to creating the workable of IoT architecture. Whenever you want to work in the workable IoT architecture, then edge computing is playing a huge role. Edge computing manages a complex environment where the IoT devices and cloud swarm the environment in uncontrolled platform with unwanted data and where the monitoring events and managing the response became impossible. So in this type of the critical situation, edge computing is play a very role. Edge computing is a computing that takes place at or near the physical location of either the user or the source of data, where the result is lower latency and save the bandwidth. See, means when you're talking about the edge computing based concept that we have to deal with that particular component, it plays an important role. It's all about the variation of time and speed of the data. By placing the computing services closer to this location, user benefit from the faster and more reliable services with better user experience. And while companies benefit by being better able to support the latency sensitive application and using the technology like AI and ML analysis to identify the tags and offer the better products and services. So as I already told you in this particular diagram, that after getting the data, what exactly the role of edge computing is that it generally dividing the data, means partitioning the data in some meaningful manner. After that, as per the requirement, it will allow for some specific algorithms and method using AI and ML. It will segregate the data, it will classify the data, it will regrade the data, and then it will send the data to the cloud and the center. So edge computing is one way that a company can use and describe a common pool to resources across the large number of locations, and to help the scale and centralize the infrastructure to meet the need of increasing number of devices and data. So an IoT gateway can send the data from the edge back to the cloud or centralize the data centers or the edge system to be processed locally. So basically this is the huge, or we can say that one of the best example or advantage of edge computing as per the existing system. Here you can see that the few advantages like edge computing help to decentralize the data processing and the lower dependency on the cloud, increasing the data security and privacy, better and more prospective and robustness, reducing the operational cost, reliability, unlimited scalability, latency, and many. So I hope that you are getting the idea of what exactly the edge computing is, which are the main components that we are using in IoT products and IoT applications, and also we can know about better idea about sensor to the actuator flow. It's a controller part which play a main role in the center position of sensor to the actuator. So still, if you have any doubt in the chapter number 2, you can feel free to ask me. So thank you for watching.